fighting for that little space of concrete. That many more people out there, so you have to get there sort of earlier. You don't have a place to put your stuff to sleep. So we have to sort of get there sort of at a decent time.
That's another thing that we had mentioned. We had met some people out there that do have jobs. So some of them working, how many hours is that?
She's working like 6 days a week.
She's working like 6 days a week.
Oh, Belinda?
Yeah.
So, but it's, people are talking about, it's like, to get an apartment, you have to go there, you have to have a deposit. You have to go through a lot of them do like reference checks. A lot of them do like
credit checks.
Yeah, credit checks.
And stuff there, so yeah.
Or you have to make a certain amount from your job, like they have an income requirement. So even though you could technically pay the rent, well, what you're making is, sorry, we've decided that you can't pay that.
And a lot of these places, you got to remember too, these single room occupancy places, they have very strict rules also. You're not allowed to have any guests over there. And if you do, it's going to cost you another $10 per person if they want to stay over there. Again, it goes back, to the rules and stuff like that. What are people willing to give up so they can have a roof over their head and everything there?
Rufus, I'm wondering if there's anything you wanted to...
There's probably a question.
Wait.
Well, I guess as I took the survey and I was for them, and I was like answering like the questions about my perceptions of the homeless. A lot of it maybe has like a negative connotation because I see like I guess most of my image of the homeless is like the panhandlers that are on the corners or at the end of the freeways, and it just takes me back to where the city I did my undergrad in, and they did an article on this community, and they actually got a lot of negative feedback because a lot of the things they mentioned were like, how they get their money, how they get their food, and it was kind of like a slap in the face to the people who did give to them, because the way they, and it could have just been the reporters and the way they spun it, but it was very kind of ungrateful feeling, and some of them are even making more money from donations than some of my friends made in a week. And so I guess, like, how for somebody like me, like, in your experience, like, how do I get those image of those people that I see on the corner and not feel such, like, a negative? And I know it's probably just, like, my own personal thing, but I guess I want to know what your experience is with, like in terms of panhandling and those type of situations.
Well, that's pretty simple and stuff like that. Just like, there's, forgive the terminology, a-holes in every form of society, in every different race. Well, there's the same as our communities of homeless. You have your good people and you have, your bad ones and stuff there. Unfortunately, a lot of times when we get sleeping bags that are brand new given to us, and tents lately, since it's been raining and things of that nature, it's been getting cold, we've been having a lot of people that for some reason have been dropping off brand new tents. And unfortunately, you see those people as soon as they get those sleeping bags and those tents, they're walking down the street going, $5, anybody got $5? I'll sell you this for $5, $10. And unfortunately, that's what happens and stuff there, You're doing a good thing by coming out and dropping off something that would help the person out and things like that, but you don't know the person that you're giving it to. And unfortunately, a lot of them will take advantage of that, and they'll go right around and turn around and sell it. Stuff like that. So it's hard, to know what to do actually to help out, yourself or to get those pictures out of there. But, there's people like that all over the place. I mean, when you're around it long enough, like I said, unfortunately, you just start not to, think about it and stuff there. Repetition and stuff like that is just, I see that every day, it's like nothing new. And that's unfortunate.
I had a question, just going along with that. I remember once a long time ago, my mom actually worked at a restaurant, and there was a homeless person out in front of the restaurant, and he was asking for money, so my mom thought it would be a good idea to go get him food. Since she worked at the restaurant, she actually went and got him a full plate of food, and what he did was he yelled at her, took the food, and threw it away. And so what I kind of want to know is, like, how do you know that how do you know, or who do you look for when you're out there? If you're looking to help someone, how do you know that they're going to actually take what you they're going to take what you give them for the right reasons?
Right.
Rufus, you made a really good point about that. I don't know if you remember, like if someone were to give you food.
Well, I told Erika in the beginning when I first got to San Diego. I was always, used to take care of myself, buying my own food, doing this, doing that for me, and I never was a trusting person. But I remember being down when I first got to San Diego. Now I would go to the homeless shelter and have a cup of soup or coffee or something like that. But then I was in the Horton Plaza, hanging out down there, just hanging out, nothing to do. And I had a person to come by and gave me a sack lunch. Of course, I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I took the lunch. And I'm thinking, I don't know this person. I don't know, this food might be poison. But anyway, I asked a homeless person out, they saw me give me the lunch. I said, you want this lunch? Yeah, I'll take it. But I didn't know where to, at the time, I didn't know where to take it from the person or not, because I didn't know this person. But you're right. That is ungrateful SOB that done that. It really is. But if, like where David and his friends live out down there, those people there, they're more than grateful to accept anything that you would. But that's I've heard that more than once. That somebody's done that.
If I could answer your question there real quick, just go with what you feel inside here and what you think up here. You're out there trying to do a good thing, okay? And if that person chooses not to accept that in the way that it was offered and everything, well, then that's their bad. You're out there trying. You're out there trying to do good things, so don't let that, deter you from what you want to try to go out there and do.
There's also a lot, like me and my roommates, there's like people who would ask for change at like a gas station, and you would give them the change, and then you would see them like get in their car and like drive away. So it's always like I am always wanting to help, but I never really know who to pick and choose from to help, because so many people have, like that I've tried to help in the past have.
Just go with your first instincts, just like we do when we first go up and meet somebody, or you see something. You see a certain color of car or whatever it is. You like that for some reason. That's first instinct. I would go with that. You're out there, like I said, trying to help and everything there. You shouldn't, have to worry about picking and choosing and stuff there unless you want to. But just go out and give it to the person. A lot of times they're going to be very grateful for you.
And also, just kind of going back to building interaction. So it's if you start having conversations with people just because they're homeless, you can still have kind of an ongoing relationship with them, and so you kind of get a better feel. I've gotten a better feel for some people that are down there, and I know which ones are probably going to be high, and which people are going to be sober, and which people are going to maybe say something when they're walking past. So it's you kind of get a feel for who's probably going to use it for drugs or alcohol, who's going to use it maybe for food.
So you got to realize that when you're driving by and you're seeing a group of homeless people out there, you're actually looking through the walls of their house into their living room. That's they do everything out there, and a lot of times you'll usually find a person that's like a camp leader or a group type of person that will lay the law down a little bit and try to set some guidelines and some rules, just like you do with any community and stuff there. And a lot of times you have to keep reminding people that you're not in your living room. You don't have walls all around you. You have to be a little bit more accountable and a little bit more aware of your surroundings and what's going on around there, so you're not infringing upon anybody else's time or anything like that there. If you want to sit around out there and hold a beer in your hand and wave it around, and the police want to give you a ticket, well, accept the ticket. Don't be cussing them out and everything else because you were that dumb enough to go walking down the street with a beer in your hand. Come on.
Yeah. Somebody sometimes has to stand up and say, hey, guys, come on. And sometimes a lot of times there's a spokesperson for the group that would stand up and say, hey. again, you know, there's